Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I wanted to overall talk on just all video games not having a save mode, but I am going to be using the video game Peak as an example because the thing is this, in 2025, you coming out with a video game, the thing is this, it's a 50-50 chance on whether or not your video game is going to be successful. Like, really, at the end of the day, a developer doesn't know whether or not their game's going to be successful. It's kind of like when you're making a song, you don't know if this is going to be your breakout hit until the day you publish it, right? So my thing is this, and I guess like with music, it's slightly different, comparing it to a video game, because with music, they're pretty much going based off of like old video game philosophy, old video game rules, that you had one chance and one shot to release a good song. So using music as an example, but imagine, my thing is this though, imagine if it was some of the greatest artists of all time. Yeah, let's say Drake or Taylor Swift, or I'm trying to think of some other people, and it's just random people. Like, I know people be like, wait, Drake, like, hit me. I was just saying like the big artists where it's like, they're a viral sensation everywhere. Drake, I wouldn't say so much now, but back then, yeah, that man was on top of his game. But my thing is this though. Imagine if these artists was only putting out a portion of the song. Like, yeah, you'll see where artists, they'll do like a part 1, part 2. Because speaking of Drake, somebody that he's very familiar with, Kendrick Lamar, he has a series out called The Heart, where it's it's just him like just putting out some of the greatest verses of all time, right? But imagine if he were to put out, or any of these music artists, they were to put out a song that's halfway finished. So like, you'll see that at times, like when an artist, more so when an artist passes away, where they have like that unfinished music, and it just doesn't sound the same. It's not like how it was back then when they were alive. And then when you compare that to a video game, yeah, back then it was unheard of to see a video game come out with patch update after patch update after patch update. That was unheard of. But one thing that all video games had back then, and it trips me out that it seems like I don't know if it's like a hard thing. Let's just look it up real quick. Is it hard to add a save mode to a video game? Because I'm curious. Hold on for a second. Is it hard to develop a save option in video games? Let's see what Google AI says. Developing a save option can range from simple to extremely difficult, depending on the game's complexity and the type of save system desired. For a small game, it can be relatively easy, but implementing a robust system for a large-scale, complex game is a major engineering challenge. In two games I'm going to be talking about is probably, in my opinion, the biggest video game that I've been playing recently, and then talking on the video game Peak. But anyways, so the game that I've been playing a lot of recently is No Man's Sky. If for those that don't know too much about that game, just to give you guys a little bit of a brief summary, No Man's Sky is a space sim in a way, I guess, if you wanted to call it that. I mean, it has its moments where it gets kind of unrealistic, but at the same time, like, it does follow in that space sim genre. Or even if we're just getting rid of sim, it still is in that space genre. But the map size of that game, so just to even talk on that, so when you open up that game and you go to a planet, because even yesterday I was playing that game and I was on the planet and they wanted me to do a mission, but the traveling in there that they wanted me to do, and I know people would be thinking, oh, that's probably like in-game hours. That's how far they wanted me to travel. They wanted me to travel hours away from wherever I was at. There's no such thing as in-game hours in No Man's Sky. If it says wherever your location is at is 12 hours away, that location is 12 hours away. Now, yes, you do have cars, you have spaceships where it'll take, probably by car, yeah, it'll take a little longer because they have like these rover type vehicles in there, and that definitely take a lot longer. But you do have like these highly fast spaceships. Well, it'll take you, it won't take you 12 hours, but it'll take you a few seconds. I guess like if you're traveling to a galaxy far away, yeah, no Star Wars, like, no, I'm saying like that's that's how that game really is. Like, they got multiple solar systems. So when you're starting up that game, they have like this cutscene where you're kind of just flying through space, and then there's all these like round circles that you're passing by. Those are solar systems, and them solar system, they can have from one planet to multiple moons to multiple planets to one moon. Like, and then that's the thing, every planet is big in that game. Like, it ain't no, like I said, they had it where they wanted me to travel. If my thing is this, if I would have traveled the 12 hours that they wanted me to travel, I probably would have just now been finishing, because I was playing that game in the middle of the night. I probably, yeah, maybe an hour or two ago, I would have finally reached the destination. And it was, I think they wanted me to go through a teleporter or something like that. But anyways, I can't remember what what was it that they wanted me to, they wanted me to do something. But overall, though, it would have taken me 12 hours. But the point that I'm trying to make, though, is that game has a save option. And in my opinion, I would have to say, let's just look it up to see, what is the biggest video game, of all time. Dungeon Fighter Online holds the I think this is like talking on like sales and stuff. I guess, like, how could I ask that question, but not so much talking on like or maybe video game file of all time, I guess, maybe. The largest video game of all time depends on how it's measured, but among games with large pre-download install sizes, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 can exceed 200 gigabytes when considering its full optional world data, while titles like Ark Survival Evolved and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 can also range over 250 to 300 gigabytes with all DLC. Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'm for sure, has a save option where you can come back to wherever you're doing, come back to it later and stuff. And maybe I just need to play that game to see, but I'm pretty sure that game has a save option. I've never played Ark Survival Evolve. I think that's one of those games where it's kind of like Rust, where it's like one of those like online only games. I don't know for sure, but if it doesn't have a save option, I can understand why. But at the same time, though, it's like, if there is a single player, let's just do some research on that game real quick. Ark Survival Evolve. Does Ark Survival Evolve have does autosave? Yes, Ark Survival Evolved has an automatic save system that triggers periodically, often around every 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, so that point's been proven. Ark Survival Evolved, it has a save option. And then Call of Duty, yes, all Call of Duty games have I don't think I've ever played a Call of Duty game where it doesn't have a save option. Now, yes, stuff like multiplayer, zombies, things like that, like them online games, yes, that I can understand why it wouldn't have a save, because it's an online game. But as far as campaign, now imagine, I guess, like, you know, to just use Call of Duty as an example, imagine you're halfway through playing a mission, but I don't know, your wife goes into labor, or I'm trying to think, you're receiving a package from Amazon, or a friend invites you out to dinner, but you're like, man, you know, I'm in the middle of this mission. Then yeah, let's just say it's your first time ever playing a video game, right? You're like, I'm in the middle of this mission. I would really like an idea where you can save right here and right now and then come back to it later. This is something that was thought of years ago, by the way, right? And so let's just say they didn't have no save. Let's just say, like, if you pause the game, but let's say your power goes out, so it's like you come back to it, you guys start the game all over again, not just the mission, the game. I'm telling you right now, if all video games were designed that way, video games would have never taken off. I wouldn't have a channel called TMossBoss Gaming. I probably would have had a channel called TMossBoss in Flowers, or TMossBoss in what else? Something else. But it definitely wouldn't have been no gaming channel. Because I'm not going to play a video game where you're forcing me to sit down, play this game nonstop until I get to wherever it is I need to get to. And then that's the thing, though, with Peak. The fans don't help, because I'm trying to tell the developers a save option for that game will bring a lot of players in. It's like, you know, and have it where it's like you guys are having a regular big number amount of players playing your guys' game. The fans of that game talking about, oh, you could complete the areas in like an hour, 2 hours. Do you think I'm trying to sit down for 2 hours trying to just climb a mountain? Like that's the thing that I don't think people understand, is that in this day and age of gaming, and even back then, no, let's just go all the way back to, from when I had very first had started playing video games, because every video game console, I don't think there was ever a time where I had a video game console and I only owned one game on it. Fam, from video game consoles, from iPods and iPhones to iPads, I'm trying to think, Xboxes, PlayStations, gaming PCs, Nintendo, all that. But let's just go all the way to the beginning of my gaming history and stuff. Let's go all the way back to the Nintendo 64. I'm pretty sure I had more than a game on the Nintendo 64. Fast forward, get a PlayStation 2. I know for a fact that I had more than one game on the PlayStation 2, because there are days where I would count my games up. I had well over 100 video games on the PlayStation 2. Fast forward, I get me a PlayStation 3. I'm trying to think. I think I had more than 100. I'll have to go back and check, but I wasn't, because games had started getting a little bit more expensive and stuff. But anyways, I can't remember if I had more than, I know I had more than one game on the PlayStation 3, and I was playing multiple games on the PlayStation 3. But anyways, fast forward, get Xbox 360. For sure, I had over 100 games on the Xbox 360. I would trade in my games a lot, but I'm pretty sure that I had over 100 Xbox 360 games. Fast forward, I get me an Xbox One. I'm pretty sure I had over 100 games. I know for a fact that I got over 100 games on the Xbox One. Fast forward, get a PlayStation 4. Fast forward after that, Xbox Series X, and then eventually get a PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, all that stuff. I'm pretty sure I've had more than one game on each of those platforms. Maybe not 100, but I'm pretty sure that I have more than one game, and I am playing multiple games on each of those platforms. So my thing, the point that I'm trying to make with that is that I'm not just going to sit there and just play because I wonder, they probably ain't got like no thing to let you know how long it would take to beat the game peak. How long will it take to beat the video game peak? When focusing on the main objective, peak is about 6 hours in length. If you're a gamer that strives to see all aspects of the game, you are likely to spend around 35 hours to obtain 100% completion. So it takes wait a minute. I'm confused because they have like two different options. Okay, so all right, so there's this website where it's like how long to beat. So main story 6 hours, main plus side missions 14 hours, completion 37 hours, all styles 8.5 hours. I'm not gonna sit down for no 6 hours straight and play a video game. I don't even think, back when I was a kid and I was playing a lot of, I don't even think I sat down for 6 hours straight and played video games from when I was a kid. For the most part, I would play a game maybe for like an hour or so, and then after that I was good. I was done. But I'm not going to sit there for no hour and be trying to figure out, how can I, or 6 hours and be all like, let me just sit and play this game nonstop. I've never done that. And if I did, it was with games that I was interested in. Now, I'm not saying that Peak is not an interesting game, but I'm just saying that there are things that could make that game interesting, where it's like, have like challenges to, or like just overall have it where the game is meant for everybody. But it just seems like that it's one of those like speed run type games or something. It seems like it's a game that's only designed for a particular audience. And I'm like, fam, in this day and age, when you're coming out with a video game, you gotta come out with a video game that's meant for all audiences. That's why when you see games like Grand Theft Auto, the reason why it took off so well is because it's a game meant for all audiences. And guess what they have? I'm not saying that the save option made their game famous, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people overall like the idea of, I can come back and play this mission at a later time, but what else? I'm trying to think of some other games. Forza Horizon, yeah, they might have it where you can't save in the middle of the race, or you can't save in the middle of a mission, but they do have a save option where it's like, okay, right before I start this, so like, let's say for an example in Peak, right before I start this next mountain, there's a checkpoint, there's a save option, so I can come back to this at a later time. But I guess they're on some business where it's like, the mountains change every single time, so it's like some procedurally generated game. And I'm like, okay, even with No Man's Sky, they have the game, it's also a procedurally generated game, but they have it where everything stays the same. So that's why I'm like, and you guys trying to have it where it's like, we want to come out with this challenging game. My question is, who asked for it? who asked for a challenging game versus a save option? I guarantee and I promise you, more people have asked for a save option than saying, "Oh, can you make this game even more challenging?" Eventually, I feel like that my thing is this: even when you're climbing an actual mountain, you can take breaks. And so that's the thing where it's like, I mean, yeah, you obviously can't. I guess like maybe if they wanted to have it where it's like I could put a checkpoint on top of, yeah, let's say I was climbing Mount Everest, but I'm like, oh, there's I don't know, like let's say I feel like if I could climb Mount Everest, I got money, so I'm like, okay, I'll just go and contact the helicopter and just be like, yeah, come pick me up at this location. I'm gonna put this flag here. Come back to this at a later day. I'm saying, like, I can do that. That's the thing that I can do. Why could I not do that in the video game Peak? How is it that I can save in all these other different video games that came out throughout my lifetime, but I can't save in Peak? Even the one game, Saints Row, they didn't have, like, no autosave, but they still had a save option. And that game came out years before Peak. I think it was, like 19 years before Peak. And it just trips me out that there's games even older than that where it has a save option. And there's games that came out before and, like, yes, before and after Peak where they got save options. Hold on for a second, because I do have, no, wait a minute. When did this game come out? June 16th. I'm trying to think which game came out after June 16th. I can't even think of a game that came out after then. Let's just see some of the recent games to hit the stores, I guess. I don't know. I was trying to think of a game that I played. I guess even throwing this game out there because it does have like a save option, but I would rather play Peak than this game. But NBA 2K, they have a save option. What's this game? This game look kind of, it's a scary game. There's like the Light Keeper. Might have to check that out. But anyways, but yeah, what are some other, I'm pretty sure Borderlands 4, that's gonna have a save option. What are some other games that's coming out? Firefighting Simulator Ignite. I'm pretty sure that game, I know the first one had a save option. I'm pretty sure that game's gonna have one too. But anyways, I'm trying to think. What are some other games that came out after Madden NFL 26, I guess. Thinking of a game that did come out after June 16th of this year. Yeah, that's okay. There we go. Madden NFL 26. That game has a save option. So that's why I'm like, I'm not hearing no stuff where it's like, oh, we'll think about it. We'll do this. We'll do that. Fam, just add a save option. It's not gonna hurt you. It ain't gonna hurt the core gamers. Even if you want to have it on some stuff where it's like, okay, the game saves. But if you just have like a difficulty thing where it's all like you can have it where it's like, yeah, if you want it to where it doesn't save, you can have that feature. But if you want it to save, you can have that feature. Take away that whole every 24 hours the thing's gonna change, because it's like a person is not trying to have it where I'm starting your game over and over again. It's like, bro, that's all I was saying. Games like Peak, that's a game that's only good for like people streaming and all that stuff. Eventually it's gonna be another game that takes over, because it's just, yeah, it's another Among Us or another Call of Duty Warzone, another one of those games where it's like it's only good for content. But as far as just people just sitting down just playing that game, nah. I'm like, the only people that are probably doing that is people, it's like a group of friends that's hanging out. But I feel like somebody that is playing that game by themselves and they're not gonna play that game that much. If anything, they're gonna try to ask for their money back. Hopefully it's a business where they can get their money back, and it ain't like how they did me and they're like, oh, you're not allowed to get you're the money that you earned, you're not allowed to get it back. And I'm pretty much stuck with Peak. So anyways, yeah, hopefully that changes at some point in time. But yeah, it's one of those things. I don't like the idea of me having to cut the loss with my money that I earned on a video game that I know I'm only gonna play with friends. But yeah, it's one of those things. They come out with a Peak too. I can care less if they got a save option in it. And it's like, if you guys don't do nothing with this game, Peak 2, 3, 4, 5, a whole Peak franchise, side games, all that stuff, you just won't see me playing it. So anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.